I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney number 2. We are here on the 4th case. We only just started it last stream. We're barely anyways in. I'm guessing we're about to start our investigation for day 1. We haven't even been recruited as a lawyer yet, so, you know. But there's somebody who has gone missing, and we're gonna go look for that guy. So yeah, that's the synopsis for, you know, what's gonna happen today that we know of so far. But we did finish off the last case last time, and, you know, got revealed that Cosmo's dad was a little bit of an evil little character, you know, supposedly, allegedly he was the villain, you know. I guess we'll see. But there is something else. After this stream, we're gonna be trying out Oblivion Remastered. I keep seeing really funny clips about it, and, you know, people are saying it's really, really good, so I was like, fuck it. You know, I enjoyed Skyrim when I played it when I was, like, 12, so we got that to play, and that's gonna be interesting. Is there anything else that's happened over the weekend? When you talk about any news? I don't think so, really. I think it's been kind of quiet. Well, we're still waiting for Switch 2. Let's see. How many days exactly? Hey, Google. How many days until June 5th?
There are 38 days between April 28th, 2025 and June 5th,
38 days. I like to hear it. I like to hear it. We are so close to just being a month off. Oh boy. Oh boy. And, not to mention, we have quite a lot happening this month. Sorry. Quickly, we'll just go over what's happening in May. So, obviously, well, now we have Oblivion Remastered, so we're going to play through some of that. I don't know if we're going to beat it. We're going to definitely try it out, though. It looks fun. And then, next week, we've got that Clay horror game coming out, Midnight Walk. We're going to play that. And then, a week or two after that, we've got Doom. And then on the 30th, we have Elden Ring, Night Rain. And then, obviously, on June 5th, we've got Mario Kart World, GameCube Online, Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4. And then, a month after that, we've got Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, you know, we're kind of entering the phase of having too many games to stream, so get ready. We got a lot to do, and it's gonna be very fun. I'm very excited. Anyway, shall we hop in? I'm a little stuffy today, so apologies if things are off. It's raining, and I was a little sick yesterday, so we'll see.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated.
Oh, yeah. No, Mario Kart, we're gonna play astronomical amount. I'm a little nervous, though, because I got Mario Kart from a different store, so I'm hoping that won't change anything, and it'll all come on the same day, because if I have to wait an extra day for Mario Kart, I might crash out. I might have to buy it digitally. No, that's too far. I wouldn't do that. But I would think about it. I would heavily think about it. Actually, if Mario Kart doesn't come on day 1, that's not actually that big a deal, because then we can do Deltarune. Wait, that's a good point. Because Deltarune's coming out on the same fucking day. Oh man, I don't even know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The professor.
And now, water from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem.
It's all very peculiar.
Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain. Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry?
Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried.
Oh, wait. No, there is something we can talk about. Sorry. Switch 2 pre-orders went live in America. It's all sold out. Everybody was like, oh, the Switch 2 is gonna flop. Instantaneously, it sold out. Okay, how many of you were complaining and then bought the Switch 2 as well? How many of you complained and then bought it, huh? I want to see fucking hands and votes, okay? Everybody was clowning on the Switch 2 price, and then you proceeded to buy 3 of them. Okay? I want to see you in my office tomorrow morning, okay? This is fucking bullshit. Alright, you fucking hypocrites. Yeah, I'll complain about it, but I won't be happy about, you know, fucking buying it. Shut the fuck up. You will suck Nintendo's toes and you will like it. Honestly, I don't get the problem for the Switch 2 price. I think the price for the actual Switch 2 console is actually decent. It's cheaper than PS5 and Xbox. It's cheaper than PC. It's a big leap from Switch 1. Like, I think it's a good price. I don't know. Like, hopefully when the Switch 2 Pro comes out, that'll become the $450, and then the Switch 2 regular will be like $400, maybe lower, like $350, if you're lucky. And of course, games here aren't as expensive as they are over there. If you do a direct translation, they're still expensive, but... Ask your mom if she could pre-order it when Nintendo's own pre-orders go up. I saw, like, you need, like, a 12-month membership and a bunch of crazy shit to, like, prove your worth or something. I don't know if that's how true that is. Oh, yeah, by the way, Switch pre-orders here are still live. Basically, every retailer in New Zealand has the Switch 2s available, so, you know, there's that. If you want to pay, like, extra shipping, you might be able to get one from here. But then you'd have to, like, get an AC adapter or something. But aren't you going yourself?
Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this here. Rent.
I remember that. But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair?
That was a quite different matter. So I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm rather busy.
Okay. Of course you are.
Well, we better be getting a cut of this.
At least 12 months with NSO. Oh, is it just 12 months with it? Not 12 months of NSO? Okay. Do you want to know how long I've had my NSO active? Oh, I haven't even touched my Switch. I haven't touched my Switch since we were playing Skyward Sword. I'm still very concerned about my Switch's cancer lump. Why is that there? I'm so glad the Switch 2 is coming out. Like, what is that? It's so disturbing. Hold on, I'll tell you guys how much I have. No, not there. Hold on, I gotta sign into my fucking Wi-Fi. Yours is 3 years, 2 months? No, not that one. My my Wi-Fi was being annoying last night. And then I was like going through the settings, like trying to get it to work. And then I realized the fucking plug was just slightly out of the socket. And I fully put that in and then it just instantly worked. But I called it annoying dog because I was just going through the settings. I was just like, oh, fuck it. Maybe try this and this. Because I was watching like Deltarune videos, so. Yeah, now my Wi-Fi is called annoying dog. So if people like, look, that's what it's going to be called. And it's got no password either. Ah! 6 years, 3 months, and 6 days. Wow! Oh my god! In June... If I line this up right, in June we can have it be 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days. I gotta pay attention. I gotta get that. Oh shit, when is my Switch Online? Oh fuck, I don't know when my Switch Online, like, membership goes kaput. I don't know how long it's got left. I'm really glad the Switch 2 is gonna fix all the, like, lag with the menus and stuff, because even, like, the Nintendo Online app on the Switch fucking sucks. It's just the laggiest thing. I don't know how this was acceptable. Like, it's just a menu. How is it this bad? I don't understand. I don't get it. Hold on, guys. I'm redeeming a Captain Falcon character. I'm gonna create an icon with that. I'm gonna do that. Yep. Hold on. Oh. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? I should be playing Ace Attorney. I'm just fucking making a, a stupid icon. I hope they keep that icon system, though, because I think that's one of the best things they've introduced, is the icon thing on the Switch app. Like, having, like, unique icons become available that you can buy with, like, platinum points that you just get for, like, playing certain games. It's really cool. I really like that, actually. You can make a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah. Probably right, but they had 8 years to fix it, and they haven't done anything. And that Nintendo app came out, like, what, a year ago? And it sucks that bad? Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely bugle. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. Why do you have a guillotine clock? What is that? It's like, yeah, I'm the executioner. Gun, axe, guillotine clock. I adorn my walls with handcuffs. Also, I think that's maybe animal abuse. That bird is way too big for its cage. Like, his head only fits because of the little bump in it.
This place is full of hardened criminals. I can't say remember the last time a civilian was doing here. Doing it? And you didn't want to talk to an inmate but me.
Oh my god, Omni-Man?
You can know I am. I'm the governor, Barry Kyden.
Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer.
And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean?
Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan.
Japan! Did you say Japan?
Yeah?
Well, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh?
I didn't notice another prison next door, sir.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't have that clock in my house. And then, you know, try put my penis in the little hole. But, you know. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about...
I didn't like to be so direct, but... I've no intention of speaking to the wee likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners.
Okay. I mean, you're, like, pretty evil. Exactly, it's the thrill of the fight.
Now get out of my hair.
So as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means...
I think it's because of the professor case.
You think so too? Well, I mean, think of what happened to the Germans because of Hitler. I mean, they were scarred for so many years. And that's way worse than the professor. Who should you level up next? Ashley Williams from The Evil Dead or Lara Croft? I don't know who the fuck Ashley Williams is, so Lara. But how pyramid-like are her boobies in that game? If they're not at least, like, pyramid levels... Aw, man. Isn't that, like, remake Lara Croft? That people kind of... I didn't really hear much about that. Like, the reboot Lara. Like, nobody really cares about her. It's like... She kind of just looks like the Last of Us girl a little bit. It's like, okay. Kind of doesn't even look like a character anymore. It just looks like a woman. Not that that's bad or anything. It's just like, she doesn't look like Lara Croft anymore, really. Tragic Her Legacy is just her being the first with tits. No, wasn't the original games, like, kind of good? Or were they not even good? I don't even know. I never played them. Poor Lara. Like, she doesn't even need the big boobies. It's just like the new Lara doesn't really look like Lara. I guess the old Lara kind of just looks like Play-Doh, but... I don't know. Genjin Asogi, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison.
I might have known. You're sniffing about the case, aren't you? You're agents, eh? Part of the Professor's great whip, no doubt.
No, not at all.
Get going with you before I punch your lights out.
We're going! Clearly, the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not gonna get anywhere here. Unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Kaiden? What are you thinking, Miss Susato?
I feel sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us.
Well, I don't remember who said it, but it was probably the judge or Mario.
Waterloo.
Bro is just reading them. Wait, that's the same newspaper from the, like, month ago. Or however long it's been since that last case. Good luck trying to convince someone who just shat themselves because we're Japanese. What if we're, just white people who are tired, maybe? You know?
Oh, didn't worry yourself. Sleep on my desk if you must.
That's Professor Mikitoba over there.
Ah, hello, you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked.
But where's Judge Jigoku? Hey, guys!
Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's off at training somewhere and so forth. With a pickle-type character. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs.
Having only just arrived in the country today? Goodness, he is full of energy.
Professor, you mentioned something before about how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison.
Oh, Governor Kaiden, you mean?
So it is the same man.
Father, we must speak with the governor! But he refused to talk to us. He said we were just suspicious. He said we were Japanese, and he didn't want to talk to us.
Well, I'm sure if I'm accompanying you, it would be a very different story.
Would you? That would be wonderful. If you have time.
Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. It's that just image of Mario with his hands on his belly. Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee? Settee? Now, I have rather a lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Like a nap, and another nap, and another nap. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikitobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts.
Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts?
Yeah, that one does reach the modern day. Let's not fall out now. I have an idea. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Thank you. Busy with fighting small dev teams, making Mario fan games in court. Why don't you just make your own games? You could even make money. Why you rip off of Mario? Because we love you, Mario. Fuck you. Go to hell. That is kind of just my opinion on the matter. Like, if you're making a Mario fan game and it's, like, really good, maybe it just shouldn't be a Mario fan game. You know? Maybe just make some unique art for it and then pop it onto Steam. Baba boom. You know? Not only do you skirt the legal side, you make a bunch of money for your great game. I don't know why you're making these free-ass, like, fully fledged experiences. I get it, it's the passion of the thing, but, like, seriously, just, like, you could just make something that's inspired by it, and you could, you know, be the next Pizza Tower, be the next, you know, Hollow Knight. Put that passion to something that could, you know, not get turned into a graveyard. Something that's not just gonna get completely, like, deleted from the face of the earth. There's actually another game coming out soon that is basically exactly that. It's a bunch of Mario 64 modders that kind of came together and is making a game. It looks really good. Fuck, what was it called? Hold on, let me... I think GVG did something on it. I'm gonna have to scroll past their 90 million Switch 2 videos. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Hold on, I'm scrolling. It was a while ago. I just want to shout it out because I'm very excited for it. And it's coming to Switch, so I'll probably get to play it on Switch too. Wow. This far back? Oh, yes, here it is. Hero Quest 64. Hero Quest, that's it. Definitely check that out. If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Kaiden. Or Caden? It's probably Caden. What's this then? You can't pull the wool over my eyes, you good-for-nothing Japanese student. Mikatoba. How many hours of this do I predict? Oh, of Ace Attorney? 2 or 3. Because I do really want to play Oblivion. That's going to be a very interesting time. I was actually supposed to stream yesterday, because I was home from work, because I was a bit sick, and I didn't have a ride, and everything kind of just worked out to where I had to call in. But I kind of just chilled. I haven't had a full day off in a while, so I was just like, I'll just relax, play Balatro. Been getting back into it. So fun. But
Sorry, I just want to vent a little bit. Every time I get, like, a good, like, start of a run, and I just need one Joker. There's one Joker I'm counting on getting, and then I can't get it for the fucking life of me. I, like, I jumble up the cards, I, re-roll the shop a bunch, and it just won't give it to me. It's like, it's fighting against me. I still haven't beaten the game once. I still haven't fucking beaten one difficulty. But it is really fun, though. That young jock from the forensics laboratory. That Mikatoba. Yes, exactly. Him. He's her dad.
Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yujin Mikatoba's daughter, Susato.
Jinx, you're the young man's daughter? And you didn't think to mention it before?
I do apologize.
Hi, well, you'd best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? And didn't forget to try one of these wee handcuff biscuits. Okay. Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing.
I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now.
I'm kind of sad that I bought Bellatra on my PS5 now. Like, I love just having stuff on my PS5 because it's just like a powerhouse. It does everything. You get achievements and trophies and whatever. But like, God, I kind of want Bellatra on my phone and Switch too, so that I could, like, I don't know, play it a bit. It's just like such a game that you can just play while watching something. It's so relaxing, but then it's so infuriating at the same time. It's quite remarkable. It's quite the remarkable little game. So then, what can I do for you, Hen?
Well, we're currently investigating a case.
It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing. Missing?
That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor.
I haven't heard nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison.
Oh, how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warder.
Vigil? That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Skip the part about him only going missing yesterday, for now. Clearly that means something to him.
Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir?
I of course. We understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of He was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Sorry, did you say was? Aye, he doesn't work here no more. He left the job.
Oh my!
When was this exactly? Well, there's a question. When was it about? It can't have been much less than 10 years ago now. What? 10 years? Bro's been missing for 10 fucking years. He's been dead 10 years.
What?
Uh-oh, that means he was into some illegal shit. He never told his wife he swapped up. 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago? Hey, as I minded, Deacon, I haven't heard of the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing, though. But Miss Vigil made no mention of it.
I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here.
Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important.
is it?
Yes, I believe it may be. Well, 10 years. Professor mode?
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago,
Oh,
which was exactly when the professor was being held at the prison.
so Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of Chief Warder 10 years ago, you're telling us? What happened to make him leave the job?
In actual fact, he didn't leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean, he was dismissed? It was after a particular walk. A walk? Aye, that's our word for it here. A walk to the gallows. Execution. It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Ah, so he let him go. He let him go. He was one of the people who let him go. Only Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning.
What did he do?
I'm sorry, but I can't reveal that information. What, he failed to kill him, so he shot him instead? I think that was my theory that I had. But, like, I mean, he still executed him, if you think about it. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warden to be relieved of his post. Why wouldn't Mrs. Vigil know anything about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't Ken know about that, I'm afraid.
Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal?
And what would that be in?
That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's?
My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm at no liberty to answer that.
I see. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted.
The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research, Deacon. My expectations for when the actual murder occurs? I don't know. I don't even know who the victim's gonna be. Is it gonna be Caden? No, he seems too big and important. If he's anyone, he's the killer. Or the red herring. Switch 2 ads on YouTube? Oh, so close. So fucking close! Can you believe that the Switch 2 is less time away than we had to wait for the Switch 2 Direct? The Switch 2 Direct was 2 months from January when we got the news. And then, now, we are below a month. Well, almost below a month. We're basically 1 month away. So that time is going to just completely disappear, and we're going to be just sitting here in a month playing Mario Kart World and Deltarune and Wind Waker and everything, and just... Whew, it's going to be great. Yes, I can imagine.
The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable.
Your father worked in the laboratory on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinner's. Still in use today.
St. Sinner's. That's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right. We've been there.
Mika, Toba, and I used to ride the carriage together and negotiate terms. More fresh material, I suppose. Hi. And... Okay, can everybody read my mind now? Where's some consistency here? We used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts. Oh, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cuff biscuits, of course.
How charming.
He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Asogi, I assume.
We're just fucking humans. Some are evil, some are epic. It has nothing to do with our nationality, brother. So, because Jack the Ripper existed, should I assume that you're also a mass murderer?
I can't tell you anything else.
Exactly. They made Mario and Goku. Can't hate him. It's too hard.
Well, one moment before you're away, and I'm sure I have it somewhere. Yeah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison.
What is it?
Last Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course.
Oh my, are you sure?
Hey, it's no trouble at all. It's not the original mind.
Thank you very much, Governor Caden.
Well, in return, do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed.
We'll see about that.
Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being.
Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sholmes on what we found out about Mr. Vigil. What will he tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder? Chief Warder Daily Vigil is relieved of his post with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for prisons. All rights to redundancy pay and other financial benefits are fully revoked. Oh, no! His redundancy pay! No! Reason for dismissal. Aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict just prior to his execution. Details of this escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Barry Caden. Additional notes. Indications are that a jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed that the convict engaged in some sort of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. Alright. Well, if I had to take a guess when the murder is probably going to be revealed, it's probably going to be right now. Now would be a good time for that to happen. We're back!
Hello, you two! I thought you'd be back before long, so I'll bake some scones for us all.
So that's what the delicious smell is.
Greetings, my dear fellows! Have you heard of this new fad called Miku? Well, I thought I'd join in. I'll be hiding in your Wi-Fi from now on. I will find all of those devious little files you've been hiding away, Naruhodo. In your little special homework folder, yes. We all know it's not actually homework. Well, work from home, I suppose, in a certain sense. Greetings, my dear fellows. You've returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating.
Hi, Mr. Sholmes.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces. In any case, it turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application.
Oh my.
Pray, tell me, what of our warder friend? Have you garnered any new information?
Yeah, something very surprising, in fact, though that patch on your hair, to be honest.
It most certainly isn't, but still, we discovered that.
Sholmes?
Uh-oh.
Drop everything, Sholmes. This is more important.
Gina?
I can't Adam and Eve it. What's happened?
Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Miss Lestrade made no mention of my hair whatsoever. Completely ridiculous. I mean, how is my Miku costume going to be known the world over if even this crying inspector doesn't notice my hair? Looks like I'll have to go back to the cosplay drawing board.
It's the boss.
What do you mean, Inspector Gregson? Oh, no!
The boss is... He's dead.
No! Not Gregson, man! No! No, not Gregson. He will never have another chip of fish in his life. I kind of got the inkling that he was gonna die. I don't know if I said it. I think I might have. Because they're kind of propping up Gina to become the next detective, but I didn't want him to die. He was a legend. What?
They just found his body shot with a pistol.
What?
But Inspector Gregson.
He was murdered?
No, Grexy.
Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story.
No, Gregson, though. Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was... He was really shot?
I don't know about much what happened myself yet. They're still there investigating the scene.
Where did this take place?
At a little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street.
The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then.
The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about the case around there. Oh, how strange. He was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him I'd become a proper detective. Oh, Ginny.
No. So who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is?
They got him already. Already?
They've caught the shooter so soon?
A witness reported something going on and the boys got straight down there and took care of him. Who? What awful person did this? Oh, I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper.
Okay, you think it was Von Zieks? Are we defending Von Zieks? We're defending Von Zieks for Inspector Gregson's murder? No! Who's gonna be the prosecutor then? Ugh, is he gonna prosecute his own case?
I'm guilty. Guilty as hell. I killed him.
Oh god, I'm out of tissues. I've got a very runny nose. I'm not crying. Just got a runny nose, okay?
Not crying.
I'll be right back though. My nose is really just, it's a water tap. Fuck, can I get some music on? Before I leave? Look, wait a minute, you don't mean... Alright. I will be right back then. Alright, I'm back. God. I always hate when they fucking do this. It's like, yeah, I saw the writing on the walls that they're gonna kill off Gregson, but it's like, he's got some type of immunity since he's the main character. It's like, oh, yeah, they, you know, there's a good chance they wouldn't do it. And then when they do, it's like, no. He was a good character, too. He's a good character. And now he's dead. No. Hope this cold or whatever I have isn't that serious. I hope it's just the extent of a runny nose. Would be nice. Okay. They've arrested Lord Von Zieks for it?
That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss.
No, Lord Von Zieks? Are you quite sure, Mr. Lestrade? It's Barak Von Zieks the police have arrested?
I saw him with my own eyes. The interview room at the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they're all saying it was him. So you mean there was actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, it was only the boss and that Reaper bloke in the room.
There's no way Lord Von Zieks would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
Thank you for informing us, Mr. Lestrade. This is really most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry.
What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Oh, anyway. I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please, come and all. As soon as you can. You gotta help.
Aww. It's a detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming? How could I let this happen to Gregson? Gregson! Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later, then. Aww. Inspector Gregson dead and Lord Von Zieks arrested.
Righto, Susie! I've called you a hansom. It's waiting outside.
Well, thank you, Iris. That's very sweet of you. Oh, you mean like a cab. Thank you, Iris. Shall we, Miss Susato?
Yes.
Well, looks like we gotta defend our prosecutor yet again. This really is mirroring the first Ace Attorney. There he is, Lord Von Zieks behind bars.
So it's true, he really was arrested.
Turnabout goodbyes 2.0, exactly right. He's sitting with his back to the wall reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Von Zieks! Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be, with the last person on Earth I'd like to see. Wow, very poetic. I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened, that Inspector Gregson was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you. But...
Forgive me, Lord Von Zieks, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigations, please.
There's really nothing I can tell you. What, I didn't shoot the man. I was just passing by, as it was.
What were you reading at the back of the cell there?
Was it something related to the case? This. The yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with a suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance.
Oh, who might that be?
Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Harebrain. Oh, of course. Yes, I keep forgetting they went to the same university. And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know?
Can we defend you in court, please?
I mean, let's face it, Lord Von Zieks never minces his words. What would make you think that I would want you to defend me when I can defend myself quite fine? They seem to have a little less bite than usual. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Von Zieks? What happened? How much do you already know? That Gregson is dead. In a small rented room on Fresno Street. And that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested.
We were told that there was nobody else in the room and that some witnesses heard the gunshot.
Then you're well informed. And there's really nothing I can add. Bye-bye. The truth is, I don't know what happened myself. But the gunshot? Obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting people I work alongside. I also heard the noise. However, before I had the chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. Ah, wait a minute. So, Yeah, that definitely seems premeditated. If the officers already arrived, like, right after the gunshot rang out, then they couldn't have been called. They were already coming. Like somebody tipped them off beforehand.
If I might ask, what were you doing in in that place to begin with?
I don't need to answer that.
Oh?
After all, you're not representing me.
He is gonna need a lawyer, though.
He is gonna need a lawyer. You know, we could defend you. Who's gonna be representing you in court, Lord Von Zieks? Anyone other than you, I should imagine.
Really? Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet?
Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, all the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now.
Surely not.
I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole.
I'll touch your pole. I mean, I'll touch you with a pole. I mean...
But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you? It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that.
What does he mean by that?
After the trial, Professor Harebrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought. It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper.
Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean?
Yes, so it seems. Your stooped little Nipponese friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day.
Yeah, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Harebrain is safely back in Germany now.
He is. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There was a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you.
I was wondering, Lord Von Zieks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you.
You trust me, do you?
Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly.
It's a very gracious offer. However, I fucking hate you. I hate that I love you. I love that I hate you. Get out of my sight. I trust no one.
What?
Not the police, not the judiciary, not you Nipponese.
But, please!
I have no intention of engaging your services.
The chasm between us is just too wide and deep.
I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time.
I love that he's crossing his legs like that. Bird's got them stiletto boots on. Well, this is an interesting little abode, ain't it? Red hair wig. Red hair wig. It was one of the red hair gang. I mean, they were definitely involved.
having them be so primely in the forefront at the start. This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people will find their way to this back street. So this dust-ridden rented old room is where it happened, then.
So this is where poor Gregson lost his life?
Yeah. And the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere.
What do you think you're doing there? Every one of them drawers has got to be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above this ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey, ain't you lot ever never gone over an house looking for dough when the owners are out of town?
Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt.
So you turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself.
Hello again, Gina.
Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that. He went prancing around in here, pointing at stuff and flicking that at over his... and then just scarpered. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah. He didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me.
Gina, would you mind if we investigated too?
Listen, Odo. You're a lawyer, right?
Yeah, why?
Well, you're not thinking of trying to help the Reaper bloke, are you?
Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever.
Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Von Zieks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court. I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Odo. Get investigating.
I mean, can you blame her? Her, like, only father figure just fucking got shot in the head. Well, I don't know where he got shot. But in the head, man. In the head. You can't blame her.
I want to know the truth about what really happened here.
Thank you, Gina.
Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah.
What's the matter? Oops. Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head.
They are! Look, Mr. Naruhodo, quickly!
Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? Does this have to do with that man going missing? I wonder. Is he the murderer? Strokes beard, twiddles with mustache.
Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning.
It's Mrs. Vigil.
This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil here?
Oh. Her husband is a redhead. Or a fake redhead because of the wig. That's why he's been getting the 4 pence a week. He don't need to even work. He's getting the £4 a week or whatever. To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped.
I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either.
Oh, I can't, like, look at it? Just the photo? Okay. Excuse me. Oh, Inspector. Sir. Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset.
This looks like some sort of notice board or something.
It's absolutely covered in scraps of paper.
Mr. Naruhodo, look!
What you mean? It's an autopsy report, isn't it?
And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates.
Yeah, in fact, they're all all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room?
Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, this one here.
Oh yes, the advertisement, you mean. To the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here?
Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason.
Bow, 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 da, ba, da, bow. Oh, what's this?
It would appear to be a little model policeman. Well, it's rather charming, isn't it, in a way?
Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson?
It's so hard to imagine Lord Von Zieks playing with something like this.
It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It might have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. Maybe we should record it as evidence, just in case. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to check it.
The helmet of this charming police officer appears to be a little worse for wear.
I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Ooh, is it meant to be like a little voodoo doll type thing? Or a stress reliever for some type of criminal? Shall we try twisting it around too? For fun. Oh! It's a tool. What's that?
It appears to be some sort of key.
It's tiny though. It could be a key for a door, but not at that size. So what's it for, I wonder? Oh. It kind of looks like a gun. Some sort of key.
Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key.
This is presumably the murder weapon, then?
Oh my, it is real, I suppose.
I think so. Guns are just so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them.
There's only one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot! Here, I'll put the little policeman on my head and you should try aim at it.
No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. It's at least safer just to ask someone you might know, who might know, I think. What is this? Why does it have that? I suppose this must have been the murder weapon.
Oh my, it is real.
What is that? Why does it have that? Look down the barrel, Mr. Naruhodo. See if there's any bullets in there. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing.
Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's...
a hairpiece, isn't it?
It is! A bright red hairpiece.
I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it?
And such a flame-colored red, too.
Oh. He was trying to go on undercover for it, maybe. Yeah, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. So I suppose this is where the victim...
That's right. The rope is laid out around the body to show exactly how it was found. Poor Inspector Gregson himself had already been taken away.
Probably under Dr. Scythe's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week.
From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up into a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
I know it's just a rope, but it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that bloodstain next to it.
Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality.
Sada-san's so strong, though. He's taking this far better than I am. Excuse me. If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard. No, I've interrupted some deep thoughts there. Excuse me. Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Right, perhaps I'd better leave you to your work then. Top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off.
Yes, there's wax spattered on the wall behind it. Look.
Is there? I don't see any. I suppose if a bullet had hit it.
It doesn't seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body.
Ugh, now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. Is there wax on the wall? There is no wax on that wall, bro. Did you forget to put that in? There's nothing there. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed these boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore.
Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, it was totally blocked up with bricks. This one does at least still let some light.
You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it?
It's thick with dust, look! I think it'd be fair to say that it hasn't been used in a very long time.
In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather.
Or nobody lived here at all, merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely.
No, that's right. It's one or the other. Ugh. Well, I think that's about all the investigating we can do in here. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place?
That's what I want to know. It's what, half a year since I got out of the clink. That's when I decided to give up me diamond and become a detective instead.
Oh, yes, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he?
Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss till then. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard.
Yeah, he is a legend. Pour one out for my boy Gregson. Hey, pour one out for Gregson, boys.
Goodness, really? They say he managed to solve some really tricky case there, just like that.
He did?
Yeah, and ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's working on are, apparently.
It's not how it's supposed to work, is it? What was the legendary inspector doing in this dingy little room?
I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, and look where it landed him.
Respect for the Reaper? In what way?
I heard him say as much. I'll take my hat off to that fellow, were his words.
Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper.
Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke.
I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard.
He said something else to me, that I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people what are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that.
Right. What is this place, then? Does anyone live here?
Apparently it's been rented by some cover called Hugh Bone. Hugh Boone?
Huge bone.
Hugh Boone.
It's sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, that, isn't it?
Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. Wait, man, we'll get in touch with him.
I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a very long time, if ever.
Right, all the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into investigation. But there's so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder...
Yes, Miss Susato?
Well, could it be that this huge bone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself?
What? How could that be?
Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that was, in fact, some kind of secret office of his.
I did kind of think of that a little bit because of the inspector board. Why would he have a picture of, you know, her? Like, that is not Gregson. You know? That ain't him, bro. That ain't him. It's like, oh yeah, maybe him and that guy are the one and the same, but... I mean, I can't even see it.
Nice work, Suze. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves.
You are?
If you look around the room, you see there's a few things that hint at it.
We should really investigate this place in detail.
I see that's where the poor inspector was found. Over there. Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through him and struck the candle tree on the wall.
Yes, it's blown out one of the candles completely.
And the gun used is there on the floor. It's the Reaper's in it, no denying that.
What? Really?
How do you know that? Take it easy! Oh, I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big white eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about the guns myself. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him?
Bigwig lawman, is it?
Anyway, Fresno Street runs along outside the window there. There were some street sellers just outside with the gun shop. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Oh yeah, they've all been taken down to the yard for questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. He'll be getting a grilling.
You think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves?
Doubt it. Lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping for, and you'll be up before grilling and all.
So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Well, I know who to present that gun to then. Okay, what about this? Okay, alright. Can I not talk to her about any of the evidence we've gathered? Okay, can't show her anything. What about the photo? Nope. Nothing. Okay, alright, that's fine. Okay. Oh, Lord Chief Justice, are you home? 1st of November. You've made good time. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say this is Kazuma. I took an express train back to London. I can hear Lord Strongheart, can you?
Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone.
Yep, I was right.
Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train, so I could check all the paperwork.
It's...
Kazuma-sama!
Oh, your timing is impeccable.
It is?
No doubt you've heard of the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Von Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson.
I believe only in facts. And the facts of this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Von Zieks for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective.
Oh no, surely not!
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable process.
So does that mean the trial's tomorrow?
Precisely.
The prosecutor's gonna be Kazuma, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
In fact, this is quite a fine opportunity for introductions.
Kazuma?
Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Osogi here will represent in tomorrow's proceedings. Leading the prosecution.
Wait, what? Kazuma?
As I'm sure you're aware, is a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor?
Why does he look so menacing? Kazuma, say something. What have you been up to?
I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but I'll be all right now.
Has your memory completely returned?
Yes, completely. I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do.
Right.
Kazuma-sama. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia?
It was the voice. This past year. I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London.
Oh, I'm so sorry for what's happened.
Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return the way it was before.
What do you mean?
I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon.
Oh, come on, man. You may be a prosecutor, but we can still be gay buddies, you know? There's nothing wrong with that, man. Haven't you seen our future? With Phoenix Wright and Edgeworth? Come on. It's fine.
I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed by all over London. In fact, no, people all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand at the dock.
Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
But Lord von Zieks firmly denies any involvement in such matters.
And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent.
And that's certainly true. Or it has been, at least until now. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
So, Cosmo will be prosecuting tomorrow.
That's right.
What? He's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart?
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. Imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. No doubt at all that Cosmo will be You'll be razor sharp as a prosecutor.
But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
You asked for this?
But why? It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact.
You are quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. Yes. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks.
So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for so many months.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Oh, yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zieks?
That would be a question for our lead detective investigating the scene.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know.
That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct.
I thought I put my phone on silent.
That's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved with law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim.
No, Gregson had this gun on his person.
What about Lord Van Zieks?
He claims it's currently not in his possession.
What?
According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's is no proof that it's actually his.
No, of course not.
Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zieks. It doesn't look like we're gonna glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart.
Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery.
Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see yourselves out.
Hold it!
Huh? Kazuma!
Before you go, Ryunosuke,
No, what is it, Kazuma?
I just wanted to thank you.
Kazuma-sama, what?
You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection.
You always were so intent on studying British law in order to change your own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you.
Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here.
Oh.
I actually have a favor to ask. Which is, this trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me. As the defense counsel. Please, will you marry me? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Zieks would never put his faith in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this.
He's actually smiling. Ah?
That's Lord Van...
That's Lord Van Zieks and Inspector Gregson.
The photograph that must have been taken some time ago.
Who's the third person? Duh, his brother. What are you, fucking stupid?
It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office.
In Gregson's office, you mean?
Yes, what I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it.
Suicide's answer was fuck. Yeah, Ace Attorney certainly wants to provide for both, you know, for both genders. They you know, they give sexy characters all around. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over.
What are you doing, Kazuma? I love the new suit. It reminds me of a suit that you can get in Lies of P. I think I used it for most of the game. Lord Van Zieks is still reading that letter.
We've been gone quite some time, though. Either
he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even be able to read English faster than he can.
I was intending to ignore you entirely. But I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese.
Oh, sorry, I didn't think you'd hear that when I was shouting it!
I had the case notes brought to me in secret, and I was reading them to pass the time.
yes, we heard that your trial's set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business.
So, you haven't found a lawyer?
How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you!
In other words, no.
We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'd expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is.
It's gonna be Kazuma Asogi.
Sogi.
That made the colored train from his face.
Well then, it seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. Fuck. Years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer was, as you know, a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name of Asogi.
Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
So what cruel twist of fate is this now? 10 years later, The man's son to crucify me in some kangaroo court.
I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Cosmo to you.
It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve? Let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Cosmo recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that?
Asogi. That name is very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you Nipponese.
Right, your hatred of all of us Japanese. The Nipponese Bane.
I was born in the dark, molded by it. You merely adopted the court of law. I'd only been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer.
The so-called professor.
Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard.
And that was Genshin Asogi?
Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But I never saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, any semblance of right prevailing over wrong.
Oh, how awful.
To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented.
What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor?
The man in charge of the Professor Case inquiry, Lord Mail Strongheart.
Oh, I've said from the beginning that Strongheart was evil. I said it from the start.
Lord Mail Strongheart is an evil man.
I called it day one. Okay, if he does turn out to be the big guy, I called it instantly. He's an evil type character. Wait, what? Lord Strongheart?
He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted.
I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor.
Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you?
Oh.
In all things, as a lawyer.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese.
I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it.
And I can understand why. Now I know the history.
But in the same way that I felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Asogi I am the bane of his, the Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it out in court tomorrow.
Oh boy. This really does feel like the penultimate case. What's gonna happen in the last case? I don't even know. I guess it could be sort of like the first game where the second case, or like the last case, blends into two. I don't know.
Grayson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy.
Oh, yeah, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he?
I wondered, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean?
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Oh,
The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that into arrangement.
Sounds like that mystery has been... is even the Reaper perplexed.
I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity.
Oh boy.
If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery never would have been made.
What sort of approach?
After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my, 10 years ago?
Why is that so surprising?
Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, rarely performed. And my brother was of course a noble. It made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of the Lords as a result. And as a result, I could avenge my brother's death.
So you must have had a great deal of confidence in the inspector's abilities then.
And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
I don't have confidence in anyone. And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I have no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London.
That's not true! But let's deal with your gun first. About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene.
Yes, it's not mine.
Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is.
What do you expect me to say to that?
Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm.
As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true.
When'd you lose it then?
That, I don't know.
Someone stole your gun. It's kind of obvious. They're definitely trying to get you behind bars. They're trying to implicate you. It's very much targeted to get Van Zieks put away. Or killed. The fact that he just heard the gunshot and then got arrested instantly, when the witness apparently heard the gunshot and then contacted the police or had them hailed or something, it's too weird.
I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps.
You have something in common with Lord Van Zieks after all, Mr. Naruto. A talent for misplacing things.
No. This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into this.
Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese.
Oh dear. The rift is very wide, isn't it?
So it's not divisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Lord Van Zieks, we came by this old photograph.
Where did you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost.
Is the man on the left there?
Yes, that's my brother, Clint.
It had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you. Were you aware of that?
Respect? That's nonsense.
No. We've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less.
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. It was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of that past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle. An insight into the true nature of this man known to all as the stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name.
I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in.
What's that?
That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth.
Lord von Zieks.
From the very first time we clashed in the Baileys almost a year ago now. I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother Clint and Genshin Asogi.
The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this one?
Back then I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I look to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe.
I'm so sorry.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. Tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Of course I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands.
Damn! For Lord von Zieks. That must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma. Oh shit. Oh shit. That was a very quick investigation day. Only an hour and 40 minutes. And that's probably like 30 minutes of odd talking, too, so. Here we go. Oh boy. There's that old familiar feeling again. The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's even more menacing tension in the air. There is a menacing tension in the air today, isn't there? I suppose. Yeah, I think so. It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant.
A little more courtesy, if you please.
Oh my, I do apologize.
However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary.
What do you mean?
I'm not privy to the details, however, I understand that no jury has been selected.
A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago.
Closed court. Oh, shit!
Good morning, my dear fellows! I got the Miku blue out of my hair, since, well, apparently Iris has informed me that I do not look good in a dress. I disagree. However, I am here.
Mr. Sholmes!
Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science, you must agree.
To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem.
Ah, what to one man is a little hair problem, is to another a day of drinking dubious poison after dubious poison. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning.
Oh dear, how awful for you.
I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes.
And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of vim. And you see in London, celebrated great detective as active as ever. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, the Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent than the black roots of crime in our capital. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there is at least one point on which I must readily commend you. What an honor. What would that be? Your eye for a good lawyer, sir.
Mr. Sholmes, please!
After all, behind this lawyer is a very great mind. My own. What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper.
Sorry to barge in. Ah, Gina. And Mario! Gina! Oh, look at her new, like, little... Did she have that band on her arm before? Yeah, okay, it's new. A morning band, I suppose.
Father, shouldn't you be at the symposium?
It's been postponed. I have a free time.
I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action.
I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see.
Odo.
Oh, yes, Gina?
Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? This Reaper bloke, everyone says it was him what killed the boss.
I'm sorry, Gina, but I just don't believe that.
If it weren't him, who was it?
I don't know that. Yet.
I don't care who kills and what. The Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him what killed the boss, then God help him.
Fiery eyes, indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing.
Aye?
At least, that may be some solace to the deceased.
Oh. I hate how good they did the animations on her.
Please, Odo. Get whoever did this for the boss. Oh, Gina. I'm feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. So you gotta find whoever done this and make that wretch pay.
Counter the defense, counter the defendant.
Why'd they do like a little Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fucking Oompa Loompa like little bounce? Come on, man. Just pour your heart out. You're gonna do a little Oompa Loompa bounce? Yeah. Alright then, here we go.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord von Zieks.
Oh boy! The one who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law. And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution. All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. Whatever truth is revealed, We're gonna have to look at it straight in the eye. Oh, boy. Well, this is a little awkward.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct a fair and just trial of the defendant, Beric von Zieks. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin?
Hold on, Your Honor. I have a runny nose. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold on.
Please, Mr. Naruhodo, you should have taken, I don't know, something.
The defense is ready, my lord.
The prosecution is more than ready.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... But I never pictured it happening like this. I never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench.
The so-called Reaper of the Bailey has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge.
In other words, this trial's going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder.
The truth revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions for the judiciary. Accordingly, we are to be conducted as a closed trial with no members of the public present, by Her Majesty's direct orders.
How will that work, my lord?
The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the juror's bench shall remain vacant today.
If no members of the public are present, might I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord?
They are members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial.
Members of the judiciary?
Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already.
There is, of course, another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. I got a haircut. Yes, I know, I don't have real hair, but still. I got a cut. The counsels for the prosecution and defense are both aliens of Great Britain.
You don't have to say it like that. Could you say we're both foreign?
I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this court now, I am quite certain. This is the reason why I had to come to Great Britain.
Kazuma?
Very well, let us commence the proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please.
I like how he still has his other sword as well. He's got his prosecutor sword and his defense lawyer's sword.
Certainly, my lord. The incident took place on 1st of November, or just after 5 o'clock on the afternoon. The location was a building on flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in the old single-room rental property. Ah, yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, a name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for the miraculous resolution of one of the country's grimmest cases 10 years ago.
The professor case.
How sure are you about it, of the time of the incident?
Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and have all reported the same time.
I guess that's what Gina's told us too. There were a number of witnesses.
I have here a plan of the room. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantaneously. How was the range determined? There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet.
I'm glad we're still talking about this. I'm glad we still have to be, you know, educated on, you know, the burning. The burn marks.
powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range. I see. Yes, thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm? No, my lord. Not conclusively.
Bravo, Kazuma-sama. We're not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven.
Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at an extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There's a candelabrum mounted to the wall, and the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have a bullet have been blown off by the projectile. Where did I even get bullet from? I don't even know.
We noticed that too, didn't we?
Yes, that's right. Thank you for the thorough report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Is this Frenzo Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented by a Mr. Hugh Bone. But there is precious little furniture inside, and it is generally in a poor state of repair.
So what on earth was Gregson even doing there?
Presumably he was investigating some case or other.
When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. So, the details of this case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Your name, please, Counsel? Naturally, the accused himself.
Lord Van Zieks!
As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken, and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well, let the defendant take the witness stand. So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Baron Zieks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord Van Zieks, that you heard Prosecutor Sogi's opening precis? I did. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. And I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question. And what exactly took place. I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord Van Zieks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come, but since you became known as the Reaper, a part of me has been dreading it. Your formal testimony, then, witness.
Witness testimony! Witness! Ow! Yow! Falcon! Punch!
I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address.
You're investigating Gregson?
When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside, and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me.
Huh.
That testimony was the whole truth? It was.
So, you heard a gunshot being fired in the room with no living occupants.
And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes, is that it?
You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse.
I thought you were my mute apprentice. Yet it turns out you have a way with words, Prosecutor Sogi. It would appear that to be a singular tale indeed.
Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's got into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all. I'm glad we have a more, you know, light-hearted prosecutor at least. He's a little more fun than just, you know, edgy. Edgy! Oh, I miss edgy.
Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination.
It's actually kind of funny. We had 2 whole games with just Edgeworth and Gumshoe, and I still miss them so much. God. Yes, my lord. Oh, and Francesca. Man. Ace Attorney 7 can't come soon enough.
I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside, and I saw no one.
Oh. Hold it! We gotta start pressing. You were investigating the inspector. What on earth for?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Sorry?
I'd identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Is the court to understand, then, that on the day in question, you followed the victim to the scene? No. I was privy to his movements in advance.
How?
I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offense. Yes, it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord von Zieks? I was aware of the possible consequences.
So, in summary, you were investigating the victim, and yet you refused to tell the court why.
I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath.
Ugh, why did I ever think I could defend the man? Hold it! Had you ever been to that address before?
No, never. I only learnt of the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make anything out.
But at 5 p.m., the sun would have only just gone down. It would still have been reasonably light outside.
The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside, so it was extremely murky. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I couldn't say for certain.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. There's a small desk in the room just here.
Yes, I remember. And there was an oil lamp on it, as well as the frame photograph.
When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate.
And what did you find?
Nothing. I never actually reached the desk.
Hold it! So, who fired the gun?
I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room.
But you say it was very dark in there.
Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is I didn't sense another's presence.
Then could it be that the gunshot actually originated from somewhere outside the room?
No, that's out of the question.
Oh. Well, I'll just put my finger away then. I will just holster my finger guns.
Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder.
Well, if Inspector Gregson wasn't shot right there and then perhaps that shot was directed at the candle to make it seem as though he was shot right there. And if the body just appeared, then he could have, I don't know, been dropped down into the room from above, maybe? It's going from bad to worse. And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor? Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. That was carelessness on my part. Presumably then the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took in your hands. In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold, and there was no smell of spent powder. But then, where on earth is that gun that was fired? Whilst I would like to oblige you with an answer, I'm afraid I can't. I, too, would dearly like to know that. Ugh. Oh, that's what the wrong. Fuck. Got me choking up over here, man, Zieks. God. Can you guys hear the rain? It's picking up. It's not too loud yet, but hopefully it stays at this reasonable volume. Oh, actually, it is pretty loud. I just have headphones on. It should only be like a very light sound in the mic, I hope. Hold it! Man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume? That's right. One of the street merchants working on Fresno Street. Who are these merchants? A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the ported window of the crime scene. Well, one of them is definitely going to be our guy, who's been missing. 100%. Like, he is our guy. If he's not the murderer, I'm going to be surprised. Or he's at least an accomplice. Ugh. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They have all given statements saying they heard the gunshot. And without thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened.
Yes, Gina told us about that yesterday, didn't she?
They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. It almost gave me a heart attack in the process. But you're supposed to be the Reaper. The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hands and fled. A policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard that commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred. Naturally, the man's scream drew my attention in that direction. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me.
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? In what way did the body appear? I honestly can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there up until that point, and then suddenly there it was. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand? At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more. I see. So, okay, he can't have been dropped in then, because he didn't hear that either. Unless it was perfectly timed to where it would completely muffle the sound of him being dropped. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. I see. After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Most curious circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere, I have no idea.
Objection!
Surely the court has heard enough. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Barak von Zieks, is lying on multiple fronts. What? What is that supposed to mean?
Good gracious, Counsel. The defendant is lying, you say? In his testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. As proven by this candelabrum. How does that prove anything? If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see that it was blown off with a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles that are of clearly a different length. Yes, I can see that the only candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long. We could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together, which begs the question of why only one has ended up longer than the others. That must be because the particular candle was extinguished when the others were still burning. Ugh. That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. But the other two candidates... the other two candles would still have been burning. So the fact is... the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabrum. Why was his hand not in a full fist when he slammed the table? That was weird. And the accused's claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts these facts. And now, the next line. There's more? The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before. That's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings.
Yes, that's right. We saw it too.
It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? Well, that's starting to sound familiar. And there's a common thread linking all of the documents on the board. Indeed? What is this common thread, Counsel? They all relate to the cases prosecuted in court by Baron von Zieks. All of them? Oops. Well, it's starting to seem like... Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Inspector Gregson's not the Reaper, is he? No. Maybe? Because we were under the suspicion that that was his rented out apartment. If he has all the Von Zieks cases, I don't know. Hopefully not. The man just died. Put some respect on the goddamn name. And furthermore, all of those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. Good lord. Hopefully somebody else's apartment, but it's definitely to do with the Reaper. Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today, because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper.
Ah. Oh no!
In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout, and is the base of his operations.
The Reaper's hideout?
And if the Reaper would claim never to have... The Reaper would claim to never have been to his own secret hideout. No one would believe that. No. The truth is, we've been looking at this backwards. Backwards? You explain, Counsel? Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper when he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout. He was killed, as I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. What? Hold up, this is a bunch of baloney. Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Baron von Zieks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret I must concur with the prosecutor Sogu's contention, and that the defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. All I have done is state the truth as I know it.
Cosmo's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as defense attorney to build his prosecution case. And it's formidable.
Counsel, you will submit the board you just showed to the court as evidence. I believe it's fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence.
Thank you, my lord.
Alright, next witness. Oh boy.
Ah!
Oh, what's this? Mr. Naruhodo, look!
Oh yes, it's a smudge of some kind. In fact, it looks just like a handprint.
And the color. That's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing.
Oh, buddy. Oh, boy.
There are details of the whole raft of cases dating back years on here, isn't there?
This paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. Look.
Out of interest, the most recent thing appears to be a newspaper cutting here.
Oh, it's the same Red-Headed League advertisement that Mr. Sholmes picked out.
And do you remember? There was a red hairpiece at the scene, too.
Is Inspector Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League, then? Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question.
They were mentioned in the previous testimony, too, if you remember.
Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot running into the room.
Very well, lead the witnesses in. The defendant may step down from the witness stand. Certainly, my lord.
What the okay. Hey, wait! Oh no, did he get fired? I mean, deserved, but... The guy with the big lip.
Sir, witnesses, state your name and occupations for the court.
Oh my god! Oh ye gods! He flicks his big lip, too.
Names? No use names, far too fancy for the likes of us.
Little Red Riding Hood.
We're just free and easy. So what we like and live where we want to live.
I give them all a vacant stare as they walk down Fresno and spin a few words into a verse for them. Oh, would I be right in assuming that all of you three make your living by selling bears on the street? Everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know.
Jaunty little titbits?
Got an absolute smasher for you, sir. Butt up your Guinea winners. £6 is the price and not a penny less.
Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me right now?
Oh, go on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested.
Try the man.
Give him the money and see what happens.
Pay the man, counsel.
What? Alright, 6 it is.
You might make it tough. Now, got your listening ears on? Just between us, a young couple on Slot Street have just had twins.
Wait, that wouldn't happen to be the policeman and the cute wife, right? It wouldn't happen to be them. Is that it?
No, it's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? He wants to spread, but that's the bits up to you and your mate, of course. We've got more. You want another juicy one? £6 a piece it is if you're curious.
I am curious, yes. What's going on underneath that fat bottom lip of yours? Namely, that unusual bruise on whatever it is that's poking out from under your collar. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that.
What about the next witness, then? What name do you go by and what do you sell?
I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, innit? I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids. Okay. I thought you were gonna be a nice, sweet, innocent young lady, and then you're selling fireworks to kids. Okay. Based. She just lit that shit with her ass. Damn, she's hot. His pence a pop. What you say? Damn. So they're being added here? Oh no, they're not being added here. Daily Vigil. Where are you, Daily Vigil? You weren't exaggerating with little. Do they actually sell? Oh yeah, the second year's gonna get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they actually blow up the school.
Not the most silly of ideas, young lady.
What'd you say then, eh? Wanna pile the sixpence for a pop?
Wait, what? You want me to buy one?
Tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you can fill up the entire courtroom.
Try the woman.
Give her the money and see if she's right.
Pay the woman, counsel. This is ridiculous. This is like the most important trial ever. We're being treated to some of the best jokes. Stop! Inspector Gregson is fucking dead. All right, I'll buy one.
Lovely stuff. Right then, this is something a bit extra just for you. The Venus special, only 600 pence.
600?
It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing a little about that, is there?
And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the Old Bailey either. Oh, these were definitely used as gunshots. Are all you witnesses evil murderers? Did you all have a hand in this? Unless it was bought from you, I don't know. And the last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell?
I think of me some all sorts of things. I think therefore I am therefore I think. Because I stand here on the street watching the world go around me. They call me the observator.
Oh, old man, everyone calls you the sandwich and you know it. So, you don't actually sell anything?
Problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. I give advice, I do, and think what it means. I don't actually sell anything, no, come to think of it.
Pity. No more purchases today, please.
Well, we have got a cast here, it seems.
They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. And always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene.
I see. And thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose.
Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witnessed the crime.
Well, we better get our fault just between us.
Mr. Milo, what am I to do? Oh, a terrible thing I saw.
Oh, what I think is, if what we see is light and shadow playing on our eyes, is any real?
He still has quite the wiener nose. It looks like a grilled wiener.
Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now.
That was the longest introductions I think we've ever had to a witness. To be fair, there was 3, but still. Okay, before we continue on with this, I gotta go quickly pee. And freshen up, and then we'll probably go for another hour or so. And then we'll try out Oblivion. Oblivion Remastered. So, stay tuned, everybody. I'll be right back. Okay, BRB. I'm back. It is kind of weird coming back from a break from Ace Attorney and there's somebody, you know, jittering constantly. We've had, like, what? 4 3D games? I'm still not used to this, you know, full animation. Bum, 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 bum. Hold on. I gotta check something. Yeah, okay. I ordered a keyboard yesterday because there's a game we're planning to play, and my keyboard was acting all broken, and a lot of my keys weren't working properly. So I spent a long time last night cleaning every single key, cleaning the main board, getting it all nice and, you know, clean. And then it still didn't work after I cleaned it. So I was like, oh, well, fuck. And I tried changing the USBs. You know, I was like, okay, I'll try it on this one, I'll try it on this one. It didn't work. Woke up this morning, I was typing up some stuff for the stream, and it's working perfectly fine now. So I have a new keyboard on the way, which I am going to be reluctant and use anyways, because I fucking bought it. So that's what we're doing. I already bought it. It's happening. It's what it is. Alright. So the whole thing from start to finish, we did everything from the moment I went in the building.
And it was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang. It seems to me that quick talk to talk and just quick to walk Cosm couldn't wait to go and see what happened.
Ran into the room and there he was, the Reaper gun in his hand, standing over the dead body.
I was scared half to death, me. I went off to find a copper.
She really likes wiggling her hips. These witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything. Who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Barak von Zieks. Shoot pictures of the Reaper in the paper. I know exactly what he looks like. These are us folks. Folk love stories like this. I've made myself a tiny some already. But wait, the room was just one of those several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. All of those flats on Fresno Street are unoccupied. Of course they are. They're small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot. And the room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased.
And we know the leaseholder's name, don't we? Huge Bone.
In the testimony of this court, has just heard what appeared to have little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime.
No. Thank you for your candor, my lord.
Counsel for the defense, you may proceed to the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. In a closed court like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. Have to break down this testimony somehow. Alright. Well, I'm guessing it's going to be inconsistent with each other's stories, and then they'll all have different points to add.
Hold it!
When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Van Zieks?
I suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. But I'll tell you one thing. It was the old Reaper that went in last, that's for sure.
Just behind Inspector Gregson. Did they arrive at the same time as each other?
No. The rest rather must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard the gunshot.
The victim arrived 15 minutes before. Are you sure of that?
Am I sure? Doesn't seem likely that I'd forgotten a fellow with bright red hair like that, does it?
That was really well read, wasn't it? Better than my flaming fireworks, even.
That fire, that bump still burned into the side of my eyelids, it is. Wait a minute, you're saying the man was a redhead? Would you listen, chum? Oh, he was a redhead. And he had a big trunk with him as well.
But Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red, not by any stretch of the imagination.
It seems likely that the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct. What? Just have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. That looks haphazardly thrown on his head. That does not look like he was wearing it. It's half off of his... That's half off.
And a red hairpiece.
Ugh.
Of course, we saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we?
I still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece, though. So then why on earth would he have been wearing something like that?
The color does seem to suit the man, one might say. The photograph will be submitted as evidence, please, counsel.
All right. And what became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying? I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene. So it just disappeared.
Oh, you expect us to be watching the building every second, do you?
We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though. No question about that.
Hold it! By which presumably you mean the gunshot?
I saw these little things, don't I? How would I know what a gunshot sounds like? I've always thought it probably sounds a bit... like this, doesn't it?
You say that you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant here enter the building?
That's right. It was almost straight away. Bang! But just like that.
Oh, he's the Reaper, isn't he? It's what the French call a fait accompli. When the Reaper's around, people are going to the ground. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it?
I think we get the message. The Reaper couldn't allow the inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clearer motive for the crime. God, his haircut's on fleek. It's such a good hair design.
Yes, it's certainly an eminently credible motive.
Great. And at that point, you ran inside, is that correct? Hold it! So, when Gossip ran to see what had happened, did you go too?
Well, I'm a bit hampered, see all the signs of that. I can't move very well.
You were way behind, presumably, with that sandwich board around your neck and that big sign in your hand. What a great burden you bear. Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but, is it possible that you and I have met before?
Yeah, I'm not anybody mean. The size is not me who I am now. I saw him before I am.
So, you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just under a year ago, then? Oh, he's super shaken now.
I must be mistaken, but I believe his trembling has intensified, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, I agree. He's clearly been through a lot.
So Tom can get me straight in Black Widow's arms just there.
Oh dear, you made him hide behind his sign.
Life is full of surprises. Hold it! 2 more. So then, you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right?
That I was, kicked the door open like a professional. I did and yelled out, "What's going off here?"
The Von Zieks had claimed he heard a man scream, though.
And was it dark inside the room?
Oh, not dark at all. There were candles burning on the wall.
Really?
And there was a fellow collapsed on the floor. Just really nice. It's the first thing I noticed when I got inside.
I see. Even though Lord Von Zieks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall.
The thing I noticed was somebody standing right beside the body. The accused Barak von Zieks. Oh, that's right, the pale-faced Reaper himself. I was a little shocked, I won't deny, but I'm no lily-living coward. I still regret gave that Reaper a cold, hard stare myself.
Excuse me.
Yeah, right. Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? Mr. Sandwich. So fucking stupid.
There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am, just 2 slices with no middle. So I don't know what you could want with me.
I think that maybe you just remembered something. Having heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean.
What I think is we're all nothing really. We try to dress ourselves up as something else, but at the end of the day, we're all just street sellers.
That's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Unless you want us to make you into a real sandwich.
When he saw the Reaper, he fell clean over his backside.
That's it?
No, you fucking beggar. I told you to keep that a secret.
He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all 4s. That's all I wanted to say.
Mr. Gossip, is this true?
The floor was dead slippery, that's why. I planted my hand in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck!
What a pool of blood.
Listen here, even when I was sprawled on the floor, I still kept that Reaper a cold hard stare, don't you forget it.
Let's just go back a little. Did you say you got blood on your hand?
No, I did. It happens to the rest of us at times, doesn't it? Well, we're scared, so I slipped over. We can just keep it between us, can't we?
No, Mr. Gossip. I'm gonna have to ask you to add that information to your formal testimony.
Oh, if I must.
Well, we know where we've seen a fiery red handprint. I'll still press it. You wiped your hand on the floor?
Oh, it was blood on his hand, eh? Oh, real stuff. I might even thought I'd done it. No, cha.
And you didn't think that might be a problem?
Doesn't really matter if I let a few grubby handprints on the floor. They'll get cleaned up in the end, won't they? Don't make such a fuss. The message from all of us. Do something wrong, Counsel?
No, my lord. I didn't remember anything in the report about a bloody handprint on the floor, that's all.
Don't call me like that. You can't intimidate me. I know what I did. I wiped it off. Oh, the floor, the blood.
I wonder, could that be what happened? Mr. Naruhodo? I don't have all the answers yet, but I think we may have uncovered a vital clue. A vital clue.
Objection.
So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that?
Well, what else do you expect me to have done, eh? It doesn't really matter.
Objection.
The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations.
Objection.
Oh, I didn't even get to read that. I was moving. If you listen, you'll find out, Prosecutor Asogi. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was a handprint and blood left very clearly at the scene. On the back of this notice board.
Oh, yes, indisputably a handprint in that distinctive color of blood. You're dead right, that's my right hand. I know it anywhere.
Objection.
The witness very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. Any handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection.
Not if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor. And what if he's fucking lying? Kazuma, come on! Like, what? He said there was a handprint on the floor. Not only did you not find one, we've had a bloody handprint somewhere else. That is very suspicious, bro. Come on, man. In that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Just look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was on the opposite corner of the room to the victim in an upright position. Even if it had somehow toppled over while it was lying on the floor at the time. There would have been a considerable distance from the body. I thought they were looking across the body, so it was basically right next to the corpse, on the other side of the room. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. I take it that you've formulated a proper hypothesis, Counsel. Regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witnesses' accounts and the handprint found at the scene? I have, my lord. I mean, it could just be false testimony. The board moving. Well, it's either the board moving or false testimony. I doubt it's another handprint. Let's say the board moving first. The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down.
Good gracious, so it is. If the witness had put his hand against the board, the fingers should be pointing upwards. What does that tell us?
It tells one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor, as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved.
What?
Hot actual hero.
Objection.
You're claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting. Then tell the court who. I don't know that yet. But the point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can be very clear on one point. We can.
What will that be?
The position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord.
So, Counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board was situated?
Early over here.
Take that!
If the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier, he said that when he entered the room, it was dark and he couldn't see the body.
My egg!
If the notice board had been there, the body would have been completely hidden from view. Oh, of course. And the light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
The accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Or, in his precise words, the door flew open. And it was right next to the door. It flew open and it hit the board. When he entered, he probably just opened it like normal and then shut it.
I don't know if I've got on to scream, but he was talking about me, no mistake.
Just it was me that kicked the door open. If you look again at the floor plan, consider what would have happened if the door to the room was thrown open with force. That can't. The door struck the notice board, knocking it over and making the victim's body visible.
Good gracious!
My client has told nothing but the truth. He simply described what he saw.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is that posture? What is that posture, bro? His fucking spine was literally, like, bent 90 degrees. His torso is way too long.
Order, Counsel! How has this not come to light before now?
Well, after the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it. into the position where the police, myself, and my colleagues saw it when investigating the room.
Witness, what have you to say for yourself? What, me, my lord?
You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board.
Witnesses in the stand will testify again. You will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Yeah, stop looking over your glasses at me, I get the message.
They've got kind of the same shaped head, but obviously the lips, the nose.
I don't know nothing about anything though. About that notice board, I just put my hand on it, that's all.
Oh my god, stop ripping that on your ass, please. Oh, they did get added. Yo, they're mysteries. We don't know anything. Oh yeah, we can see them closer. No, he's got a very clear butt chin. And our boy doesn't. Okay. Yeah, okay. And they're slightly different skin tone, too.
Don't look at me, I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing some business with some second years at the time.
I don't know nothing about anything. Just a bystander me. Just a sign at the crossroads of life. He's the reaper, I'll bet. He's gonna face that claims board. I can't see how this changes anything. Anyway, the detective still died when we heard the gunshot. So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. We can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account on what happened.
That's right, yeah. You don't pay to expect too much.
It's man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think.
Do you really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could have possibly committed this crime is Barak von Zieks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Most certainly. All right.
Hold it!
So you admit that it was the board you wiped with your bloody handprint on?
I admit it. What's to admit? It's there plain as day for all to see. A smashing print of my right hand.
Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint. So you righted the notice board and pushed it to the corner, did you?
No, that's the weight of that great lump. Oh, like a powerful, well-Dutched man.
No? Did you see anybody else move the board?
I've got no to see, I can tell you, but you and I have my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me, and the Grim Reaper himself standing over it. And there was precious little light inside over. My bottle it was a quiver.
In other words, this witness is unable to give definite testimony on that point.
Yes, it would seem.
Don't look at me, I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing some business with the second years at the time.
Hold it!
When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks?
Yeah, what else? Well, there's the primary school just round the corner, you see. Those cheeky little so-and-sos have got a plan to blow their school to Kingdom Come. I've been telling on them, letting their teachers know what they're up to.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, we didn't want anyone to get hurt, so I let the school know the kids were playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all them fireworks off them. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids will come back to buy more. Everyone's happy, see?
That's based. Based businesswoman. What a racket.
Just, and sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy old laugh selling explosives.
Venus is a powerful goddess indeed. I mean, yeah, her, you know, lighting the match with her ass is quite guileful.
Well, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, really. I'm ever so good at it.
Excuse me.
You're really letting down your team here. Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich?
If I said it was, could we just leave it at that, and that would be the end of that?
No. Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps?
Philosophical thoughts. Deep philosophical thoughts.
Oh, whoops. Hmm?
Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said, without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of hers be a lie too, or in truth, in which case she's not a liar? Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Ugh. But it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you?
Are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. That'll give you something to tremble about.
You have a startlingly, disturbingly mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich?
Oh, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can you elaborate, please?
Oh, blabbermouth here, headed for the room where the gunshot seemed to come from. But there was somebody else who crept up the stairs behind him too. That's right. That rotten lie over there. Heh.
Don't wink at me like that. Do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all?
What'd I tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I?
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it?
You firecrackers packed such a punch. They seem very, small, actually. They don't seem to be packing anything. So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief!
Now you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah?
Either you clearly remember it, or you don't.
Well, I consider a fitting punishment for this murderous act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth.
Oh yes, my lord, of course.
Hold it!
You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus?
Well, I suppose so. Don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, I'd take everything I say with a big pinch of salt.
Alright. But you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you?
Now, please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying.
The truth, please.
Oh, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a kid of my age is curious about stuff, you know?
Did you touch anything at the scene?
Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor.
The truth, please.
Alright, just a bit then. I had to look to see if there's anything I could sell. So I did give the place a once over, but it was nothing to write home about.
Right. Now, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you?
Oh, please, as if I would touch something like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had.
The truth, please.
Alright, I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. Sorry, flipped the blaster thing.
You're telling us that you did move the board?
I think that did slip out, didn't it?
What? You dumb robot! I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think.
So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps, to sell?
Oh, please, I should be so lucky.
The truth, now!
I might have found this old pocket watch underneath the notice board, suppose. It's better junk. Can't be worth much if you ask. Ah! So it was you, was it? You're the one who took it!
Gina?
Young lady, may I remind you where you are?
That watch there. That was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case he sold 10 years ago. The Professor case, no doubt. Watch used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come out the pub.
I see.
I swiped it off him once, and blimey was he upset. He gave me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. Meant the world to him, that watch did.
Possibly not the best thing to go diving for, then.
It's not all that, though. I took it to Jebbers' that night to see how much it was worth, and the old dealer wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it, said it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthlessly killed it. I knew I should have lifted it.
That watch must be submitted as evidence at once.
Oh, please, just as long as you promise to give it back once you're done. Not a chance! I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again.
That's enough! Hang the watch to the bailiff forthwith.
Now, children, watch your manners.
Good Lord! The glass appears to be broken. More than likely it shattered when the inspector was shot.
Doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jebbers didn't want it. What a waste, eh?
Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped the hour of 5.
Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then.
Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course.
Well, I suppose we should have a little peek at this, shall we? Oh! The keyhole! The police thing is the winder! Yeah, we got it! The little policeman. So this was Gregson's. Do it again, just, you know. Oops. Miss Usato, do you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch?
Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it once. There's not a moment to lose.
Ka-chonk. Yeah, it's not broken. It just had to be wound. I knew it. A perfect fit.
And look, The inspector's watch has started going again.
So it's obviously just been not wound up, that's all. What is it, Miss Susato?
Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications.
It's deep in thought now. Perhaps I better start thinking deeply too.
I would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved at last.
As predicted, it had very little bearing on the case. Ugh.
Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Well, I got the info on the watch. But I guess we just keep on going.
Hold it!
But you did go to see what had happened in the room, didn't you?
There's no strangers, my whole world is all I know, and I know all of it. I have to make my business to know if I want to hold my side up high.
So you did go to see what had happened.
It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it?
Did you notice the notice board in the room?
If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the Sign family. So, if I'd spotted it, I might have tried to trip it up and put it out of a sense of rivalry, I admit.
Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo sinians. Does that mean you didn't notice the board?
Oh, I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything, I'm just a bystander, me.
In which case, just who was responsible for moving the notice board?
We already figured that out.
Hold it!
What exactly do you mean by that?
Yo, come on, now don't tell us you've not noticed. It looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. But not notice boards, there's one thing he likes, you can see it in his eyes.
Can't say I'd ever noticed.
I'll tell you one thing for free, though. I never took my eyes off the man on the floor while they were reaping up for a second.
Sorry?
Well, I was scared. I couldn't, you never know what a thing like that might do if you look away,
If you didn't take the eyes off the defendant, you should be able to confirm that categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board.
Oh, that I can. The Reaper did nothing of the sort. I can swear on that. Couldn't have missed it. If we leave the thing upright again and dragged it to the corner.
Convenient that everyone's forgetting. What happened to the face that screams bored? I feel your pain, Kazuma.
Hold it!
It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it?
Maybe the notice board fell over, or maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over, or maybe I didn't. The Reaper's fate is sealed other way because of that gunshot we all heard. So your fate's sealed too.
My fate? That's right. The defense is fated to lose, and the prosecution to win. In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. Yeah, we got it. It's the time. The clock can be wound. It didn't stop because of the gunshot. It stopped because it hadn't been wound.
Objection!
I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case.
Oh,
At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key? And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it, in fact, still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact, completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built.
What?
Order, but Council. The watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock.
Which is when we heard the gunshot.
It is exactly the hour.
The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it was wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be 5 o'clock.
Objection.
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when the crime was committed.
Objection.
No, that doesn't hold.
Why not?
Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only a few moments ago. Alright. The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well.
Yes, that would be entirely reasonable.
But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day.
Explain that then.
In summary, the evening before the day of the incident when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. Yep. He died before. He died the day before.
You can't mean...
What would stop a man from winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead.
Order! Council, that's a most extraordinary claim.
Objection.
Extraordinary isn't the word, it's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? Do you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Well,
On that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted.
That's right. Wait a minute, you're forgetting that my leg got from under me when I kicked the door in.
What do you mean?
Like I said, a friend of mine on the dirty great puddle of blood. Yes. So the victim's blood hadn't dried, it was fresh. He catches on fast, doesn't he?
Objection.
That blood could be explained in any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after he...
Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner?
Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. We've also been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human.
The problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities.
So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example.
It is certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all.
Oh, shit.
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question.
Is it, though?
What? Given that the time of death of the victim was already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all.
Oh, please, what are you trying to say?
That's not what we heard. It was a loud way that came from that there room.
And you've listened to me, a street seller's ears are his livelihood.
I don't doubt your ears, sir, but you can all state that with certainty that you heard a noise.
Right. Explain yourself then, Council.
Well, I mean, it could have been anything else to make a bang. I mean, we have a witness here who sells firecrackers. If you explode enough of them at the same time, it would make a loud enough sound.
Take that!
Well, the culprit could have used something like this, for example.
Really? Demonstrations in order then, I feel.
What?
Yes, please. Show the court how you would use that to create a noise like a gunshot. We're waiting, Council.
I may have been mistaken. Come on, but that's like the exact same thing. A noise that could have been... Come on! What sort of bang could it make? Like... Am I supposed to, like, inspect something here?
Have you had an idea, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry, it's just that it's the Venus Special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like.
Shall we find out?
But she said it could blow up the courtroom. Yeah, fuck you. It was so precise. I mean, you already knew that. Ugh.
Take that!
Something like this, the culprit could have used to set off these to fake a gunshot.
Oh, good gracious. The very fireworks that were sold by the witness.
Now, hold on a minute. You saying I did it? My pretty firecrackers only make a little pop anyway.
Not 100 of them together. The Venus Special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact.
You're trying to suggest that somebody set one of these fireworks off at the scene?
I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gunshot or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Barak von Zieks.
One whiff of a match and the firecrackers go pop. See? That's why people like him.
I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection!
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb. Oh, yes, of course. I didn't even know the time bomb was gonna come back into relevancy.
Good heavens, a bomb!
Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like.
Mr. Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident.
No, wait. It's the whenever you like part that's important.
A timed device.
Yes, exactly. A time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sounds of a gunshot long after the culprit had left.
Your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, Counsel. What proof do you have to suggest in any way that a time device was employed to use the gunshot sound?
Oh, they used the pocket watch. Oh. There's a tiny little stub sticking out from this small hole here, look.
I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for setting the time.
In that case, seeing as that we know the inspector took such good care of his watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it?
Yes, of course!
Which would mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. Can I examine the hair? I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like.
That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you?
I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have a lot of... You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head. So it doesn't get blown up by a gust of wind, I mean.
That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think?
Okay.
I guess we could just present the pocket watch.
Take that!
Yes?
You're suggesting this could have been used as some sort of time delay device?
I did think so, my lord, but it's becoming increasingly clear that we've all been very misguided here. Yes. By you. What? Is there anything else to indicate here? The crack? Glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look.
What a shame when the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully.
I imagine Mr. Sholmes could repair it, don't you?
Yes, I should think so. Kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruhodo, not an odd job man.
Is there any other proof that this was used? No. Nothing we can point out. I mean, yeah, this guy's head was, like, rubbed wrong, I guess. Oh, wait, we could, maybe the police figurine. I mean, that it's basically insinuating the same thing.
Take that! Objection!
Ugh. No. Shid! Better save, just in case. Victim, firecrackers. Oh, wait! No. I thought maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe that was the, no, that it can't be. What am I talking about here? Nope. Oh wait, have we looked at the candle? We haven't looked at the candle. Oh, there are some black marks here, look!
Yes, they appear to be some sort of scorch marks.
Perhaps the bullet struck the candle, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems.
Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them.
The candle, then. This was definitely instrumental. I could definitely see, like, using this candle to blow it up. Part of the timing device.
Take that!
Yeah! As the court's already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in this candelabrum has been blown off.
Indeed, because it was struck by the bullet, which presumably passed through the victim.
I don't think that's possible, my lord. I mean, did anybody find a fucking bullet at the scene? I don't think so. That hasn't been brought up once.
Not possible. Why? Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle.
There are. Goodness, yes! But is it not the case that there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound?
That's right, there was. But as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target is at a very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Which means that the scorching on the candle can't possibly be the result of the gunshot.
You're suggesting it came from the fireworks. That can't be, eh?
The fact that there's such a visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and firecrackers were joined together. Oh yeah! It would have worked like that. Man, I was so sure that the pocket watch was implemented somehow. You know? The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers at a point partway down the candle. After the killer had left the scene, the candle slowly burnt down alongside the other two, until eventually it ignited the fuse or of the crackers, generating a loud And that is how these three witnesses came to believe they'd heard a gunshot at around 5 o'clock.
Well, what a plot! And this implies that the victim could have died earlier than we were led to believe. The previous day, even. Now, just hold your horses. Wasn't all the victim going into that building, remember?
I couldn't forget that flame-colored hair, even if I wanted to.
The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Obviously, anybody could wear a wig. So the person that these witnesses saw entering the building around 15 minutes before the incident occurred could easily have been someone else entirely, wearing this red hairpiece.
Someone else? You mean to say?
It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer.
Oh, very impressive, Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Kazuma? I'm really quite amazed you've come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had all the makings of a great defense lawyer? I also noted the lack of time death in this report as a stark omission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Nora! Prosecutor Osogi! What on earth do you mean by that statement? I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today. So we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense's assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopped watch is just conjecture. But while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it. Well, certainly, I would agree with you. And what immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing, and where did he go on the day before the incident?
Do you know?
The inspector was always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard. Even within the Yard. However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I'd say it's fairly apparent what case the man was pursuing. Wouldn't you, my learned friend?
I do have a feeling about the case which he might have been investigating.
Yeah, I agree. Surely. My lord, the defense believes it can explain to the court the case that was being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of his death.
Very well, counsel. Present your argument to the court.
Wait, we never even read the autopsy report. Maria Gorey. Vice Gregson, 45, British. Yeah, no time of death. Chest close range from the front, resulting in instant death. Scorch marks at entry point. Bullet exited the body from behind. Caliber of the gun used matches that standard issue. Okay. Well, probably the notice board. That's the only really thing that, points to it.
I can't say that I find your answer suggestive of anything in particular. Other than perhaps that it is utterly wrong. That much you have clarified expertly. What? Congratulations, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You deserve a reward for that expert display.
Did you just draw karma on me, my friend? Well, if it wasn't that, then... maybe this one? Because it shows Clint? It's either that or the Redheaded League one.
Take that!
No! Well, shit. I feel because that would imply the Reaper stuff. Bah. Retry from this scene. Alright, let's see how far it puts us back. Is it just gonna be right at this statement? Okay, sweet. This one.
Take that!
I believe this red hairpiece points to the answer. Okay, yeah, it was that. We might assume it was part of a disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation.
Surely not. Such a brightly colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector even more noticeable.
Yeah, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League.
The Red-Headed League?
So, you'd already worked it out. Yeah, third time's the charm.
What on earth is this all about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen?
The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception.
Deception of what nature, Council?
They've been targeting red-headed men across London and tricking them out of small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for the misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. My lord! The defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once.
Redheads?
Yeah, I think we have had enough of these 3. Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece. So it's very likely that he had direct contact with these criminals. And it's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I concur that we cannot in good conscience leave this new avenue unexplored.
Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, it's another possible line of inquiry for us, at least.
The prosecution will make immediate arrangements for the charged men to appear. Bring these 2 Red-Headed League conspirators before me, Prosecutor Asogi.
At once, my lord.
Very good. We will have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
To be continued. Well, 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 everybody. That seems like a great place to end for today. It's heating up. I really did not fucking expect him to kill off Gregson. He was such a lad. Now I'll never get hungry looking at his fish and chips again. He's funking dead. Alright. Well, that'll be all for today. We are going to be back in a little bit to play some Oblivion Remaster. And see what that's all about. And I'm going to kill that robot real quick. Because Twitch still hasn't figured out that anybody saying cheap viewer bot here is evil and should be killed instantly. I don't know how they haven't figured that out yet. But, yeah, so we'll be back as soon as possible with Oblivion, and we'll try that out. Yep, but we'll continue
Ace Attorney tomorrow, I'm sure. So I'll see you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.